They give up 20 points off those turnovers, and then Devin Booker got rolling in that second half, and you can't draw it up. How to lose that game with 0.4 seconds left on the loose ball foul.
Oh, man, Bonte, the Warriors down 5, 30 seconds left. The Warriors get a foul from Dylan Brooks. You get a 5-point play essentially in like a matter of 2 seconds. The game, all it takes is one stop. But the problem is the whole game, the Warriors were really struggling, especially there in the fourth quarter. Couldn't get a stop. It was just a symptom of what had happened the whole time. Turnovers and bad defense.
Yeah, the turnovers, Bonte. So the Warriors lose the turnover points off turnovers 30-18, so it's a -12. And then 22-6 fast break points. A lot of those are live ball turnovers leading to layups. It was kind of a crazy game. Both teams struggled offensively. But the Suns, you got to give them credit. They hung around. They made it ugly at the end. And really, it was a broken play and an offensive rebound that won the game. And the kid Goodwin went there and made that second free throw.
Really, the third quarter is where the Warriors let this game get out of hand there. They were rolling, and they go the last 4 minutes and 42 seconds of the third quarter without scoring a single point. But let's pick up the crunch time tape here because it was wild down the end. They did rally from an 8-point deficit in the fourth quarter. Got some timely baskets for Brendan Pajitsky. Down 4 here. You see Moses Moody swinging around the pods. And give pods credit.
Big
off
bucket.
the bench with a nice game there. 28 minutes for Brendan Pajitsky.
Momentum, and they have all the momentum. Even when on a missed shot on a good defensive play, you still get them getting an offensive rebound. They just had so many plays like that at the end of the game, you kind of have to give it to the team who was a more aggressive one.
Yeah, and Bonte, you mentioned when they were up 14 in that second quarter, closing out the half was a problem. And the Warriors have been known to come out at halftime and dominate that third quarter. That didn't happen. They struggled the whole second half, only scored 45 points in this third and fourth quarters.
Yeah, that was the 7th game the Warriors have blown when they go into the fourth quarter with the lead. That's the 6th game they've lost this season when they built a double-digit lead, which they did early in the third quarter, 60-46, 10 minutes and 22 seconds left. And it looked like Phoenix was dead in the water, but the turnovers, the Warriors committed 6 turnovers in the first 6.5 minutes, and that's one right there. Draymond looking for Jimmy Butler, Suns down 11. And next thing you know, they started hitting shots. The law of averages come into play. You knew they were going to start making some shots.
Offensive rebounds to the game is just one of those things that are mind-boggling.
And this is not a list you want to be on, Willie. 7 games, 2 away from the Washington Wizards, tops in the NBA with double-digit lead blowns. And they go the last 4 minutes and 42 seconds of the third quarter without scoring a single point.
Yeah, and look, all defensive transition. Basically speed, getting up and down the floor, awareness, and committing to sprinting the floor.
And Fezzi, we discussed this in the pregame show. The Suns feast off of turnovers. They're a young team. They're not 3 games over 500, but they're second in the league when it comes to scoring off opponents' turnovers.
I mean, we talked a lot about paying attention to the scouting report. The Warriors not only fed into their hands because the Phoenix Suns are gonna get turnovers. They get 10.8 steals a game, but also the Warriors just had a bunch of unforced turnovers, where like brain dead plays where you're throwing it to the man who was not there. You're trying to throw it straight into a guy's hand in transition. Those plays take away momentum for you. And I thought the Warriors had so many plays like that in the second half, especially took away their momentum. In the second half, they had the lead, and all that stuff took away their momentum. Devin Booker got going because they started running in transition. They got him some easy shots early in transition. And after that, it was a free-for-all. They just started to get shots, every shot that they wanted. Down the stretch, Devin Booker had the ball in his hands, and when he gets going, he is the best 2-guard in the league. So he got going, and then you just couldn't stop that offense anymore.
7-12 in the second half for Devin Booker, 23 of his 25 coming after the break. But Jimmy Butler, he did what he could. We discussed Jimmy Butler's game. There's a lot of miscommunication in the Portland game. You didn't feel his impact against Minnesota last Friday night, but we certainly felt it tonight. He had 16 at the break. He finished with 31 points, his third 30-point game of the season, 2 shy of his Warriors career high with 33. Again, 8-9 for the free throw line, 11-17, and he had that huge 3-point shot to tie the game at 96 all late in the fourth quarter.
This is the Jimmy Butler that the Warriors acquired last year, went 23-8, very decisive, quick straight line drives to the basket. But I was really encouraged by Bonte and Festus, a lot more post-ups with the mismatches. Here you see Gillespie on him, and the team has to be aware when Jimmy sets a screen and gets that guard on him, he has to get the ball in his hands because he's going to score, get fouled, or draw a double team and get a good shot for his team.
Even when Jimmy had a big on him, he would still drive and create plays for guys. I see that Steve Kerr was trying to find different lineups to get Jimmy going and trying to find different lineups to activate with Jimmy. he staggered the minutes of Draymond and Jimmy at parts in the game, trying to find ways to have Jimmy be the primary ball handler for the team tonight, and he had a lot of success doing that. Just got to keep building on that. I thought Jimmy did a great job being the primary scorer, but also the primary facilitator.
Yeah, I thought Jimmy played a phenomenal game. I thought Pods was great. And look, Steph had a tough shooting night, but he played a good overall game. He had 15 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists. He's going to get his points. So I think if you can keep Jimmy playing like this, keep Pods activated, and get these other guys knocking down. Again, I thought they got a lot of good open looks. Quentin Post had a lot of great looks that he can knock down. You knock down 2 or 3 more three-point shots all of a sudden, especially when you had that separation. Yep. That to me was you up 14, and Phoenix is really struggling, but they got some confidence, and then they pretty much dominated that second half.
No doubt about that. Stephen Curry with the season high 9 rebounds tonight in Phoenix. But Devin Booker, you knew he would get going. This is what he does. He's a bucket getter. He's a 4-time All-Star. He's a gold medal winner with Team USA. And in that second half, he knew that his team needed a spark. He needed to get going there. Just 2 points at the half, 1 of 7 from the floor. But Fezzi Phil, you just mentioned it. He is the best 2 guard in the NBA.
And once he got going, it was hard, Bonte. It's hard to stop him. The only thing you can do is double team him to get the ball out of his hands, because you see them in transition, moving the ball. They have a lot of guys who are ball handlers on this team. So they can penetrate, they can get into the defense, and then kick it out to the shooter. With Devin Booker not being as active in the first half, I thought the role players did a great job. Dylan Brooks was active. He was in the first half, he was incredible, hitting all sorts of top shots. You saw him from the three-point line, from the post, and it gave Devin Booker a chance to get back into the game. In the second half, I thought he had a chance to come off of ball screens, make great decisions, get into the teeth of the defense, great shots. He can hit shots even over great defenses, and by the time he got going, it was hard to stop.
Dylan Brooks, we all know what happened at the end of the game, the flagrant one. I picked up the technical early in the game.
Dylan the villain!
He set the tone. Monster first quarter. Had 20 in the first half, had 13 of the Phoenix Suns' first 15 points. He had it going, 10 of 23 overall from the floor, but he's had a solid season for the Phoenix Suns, 7 rebounds, and he made 4 huge threes for them tonight, Mully.
Yeah, he had a huge first half, Bonte, as you mentioned. That kept the Suns close enough to capitalize in the third and fourth quarters. But Dylan Brooks is having a heck of a season, averaging over 20 points per game. He's been nothing but positive for the Suns, but these last 2 games, he's had some
questionable fouls,
lack of judgment, lack of decision making late in the game. In the last game against LeBron James, after he made a 3-point shot, and obviously tonight, Steph Curry in the corner there. He kind of plays on the edge at all times, and one of those players that I think both coaches are worried about what's coming next.
I mean, you love him when he's on your side. You hate him when you're playing against him. And sometimes at the end of the games, both teams are wondering what's going on, right? Dylan Brooks he's gotten so much better this summer. I've seen him, whether it's with the ball in his hands, making decisions, making plays for his teammates. I saw him, making incredible hustle plays, rebounding, getting steals. I thought his energy was infectious for his team. In the first half especially, he gave them life. They were struggling to score, and he was the one guy hitting tough shots, and he gave them that life that they were able to come into and feed off of in the second half.
The topping point this week in the Bay Area was about the rotations. Who's starting, different lineups, who's out of the rotation. We saw Steve Kerr play 12 guys in the first half alone, 10 in the first quarter. We'll get to Kuminga later on in the program. But what did you think about the rotations?
I could tell you were about to say something serious from the way your hands and your whole body posture changed. I was like, okay, Bonte.
Lost, man. I mean, that's on my mind right now. I'm sure that's on everybody's mind within Dub Nation.
I mean, he went 10 deep in the first quarter. First quarter, I mean, Steve Kerr was trying to find a rotation, trying to figure out if I'm not really sure why he did that this game, but I think there's a lot of conversation about the guys who are playing, who are not playing. It's just a tough time trying to find some rhythm for this team. I thought they did a great job still finding a way to win that first quarter, but it's hard when you have all these different guys in the game at the same time.
They're searching, and we keep talking about this, to recapture last year's 23-8 run with Jimmy Butler. They haven't been able to find it yet. There's plenty of time left, but the only way you can do it is now that you're 2 games under 500, who starts really doesn't matter. He's trying to find a 5-man combination that clicks both offensively and defensively, and then solidify the bench. It really doesn't matter who that is. So to me, from a skill standpoint, like tonight, Jimmy Butler gets off, Steph doesn't get off as much. So you got to combine Jimmy's isolation plays, which they did last year beautifully, with Steph's freedom of motion and movement and screen and run off screens and catch and shoot. They haven't been able to capture. Is it because the 5 guys who Steve Kerr has started? I don't think so. Because Steve's just looking for the right combination of plays that click on both sides of the floor.
Saw Gary Payton II play 4 minutes into the basketball game as a 6th man tonight.
And then played till the fourth quarter.
Yeah, Kuminga and Santos started the second quarter. I mean, it's hard to get into a rhythm, right?
When you're searching, things don't look pretty.
No, it doesn't. We're going to hear from the head coach of the Golden State Warriors, Steve Kerr, on the other side as the Warriors suffered their 3rd consecutive loss.